Hey you guys, welcome to my podcast where we're healing from family ties, trauma, and taking accountability for all areas in our lives that may have held us back. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you to you guys who was tuning in on my launch day. It was a perfect launch day, and I hope that I was a light to you in the healing process. Today, we are speaking about why is it worth healing from bitterness and how I took the initiative to say, bitterness is overtaking my life at the moment, and how and why is it worth healing from that place, and when will I finally say this is enough, and when will I say that this specific situation will no longer hold me back. I would also like to say that when I decided in this healing process, it wasn't an easy yes for me. It was always, battling with, the state of mind that I'm not doing this. I'm not worthy of doing this, and I don't want to do this. So with you guys in this platform and in this journey, I am healing with you every single day. And I know that you're healing with me as well. And it takes 50,000 steps to do so. So give yourself grace as I give myself grace. And then we're going to have a conversation, and I'm going to ask you guys. And if you have any questions or comments, of course you can leave it to me, and check out my website with emails and leave your name, and we can have a conversation. So today's conversation is about bitterness, as I said again, and we're going to get right into it.
So, question I have for you today is, one of the questions would be, I want you to describe a traumatic event that has happened to you in your life.
So, a traumatic event that happened to me in my life, there are many events that have happened to me in my lifetime, but it's one specific event that had me in a quicksand, meaning that I was drowning into this sand, and it started when I was 5 years old. So during this time, of course, you'll be like, so what was that traumatic event? And I will say that molestation was always just the centerpiece in my life, and it was like an obsession that I had, and it wasn't going away. And I felt like, who would I be, if this didn't happen to me? And where would I be if this didn't happen to me? And in what space would I be in if this did not happen to me? And I don't have an answer for that. You know what I mean? And it made me who I am today. And I used to get angry with people and be like, they'll be like, this is your purpose. This happened to you because, you're supposed to heal people. You're supposed to give people your life story. And that wasn't for me at all, And I felt like, I felt isolated. I felt, destroyed. I felt like I was a burden. I was a burden to myself. I was a burden to my feelings. I was a burden to my family because, these are people that are supposed to protect you. These are people that are supposed to give you a life of happiness. But my happiness had stopped at an early age. You know what I mean? And I was just at a place where, okay, maybe I was 20, right? Say for instance, I was 20 years old, and I'm like, I'm angry. I'm jumping in and out of relationships, and that place that I was in, I couldn't function. It was always, I'm looking for love in the wrong places. I'm looking for love in people that didn't really know who I was, and people that didn't know the situation. Now, The situation lasted for 7 years. So, okay, we're saying 5 to 12 years old. And then when the situation came about, I didn't get a chance to tell my story the way I wanted to tell my story. Someone spoke the story for me. And when the story was spoken, it was questions and comments like, I don't believe you. Or, you know, we get the, I don't believe you, he wouldn't do that. Or he or she wouldn't do that because, you know, I know there's guys out there that have experienced the same thing that people do know and people don't know. And it was family that pushed me away during that time. And I decided to say, okay, when would I live for Bree? When would I have the courage to say, this situation isn't hurting me anymore. This situation isn't filling me the proper way. You know, I was living in a place where, okay, I'm gonna go to school, but it's not for me, it's for him. I'm gonna go get the best job there is out there, but it's not for me, it's for him. You know, it's a trying to prove that you didn't break me. But honestly, we cannot continue to live that way. You know, we had to live in a place where, okay, this happened to me, but I need to step inside of me and say, I'm gonna move on for me. I'm not gonna allow this individual live for me any longer. And I'm not gonna allow when I don't get an apology. I'm not going to allow myself to keep killing myself in the inside because I didn't get any love. You know, I do feel isolated. I am in the middle of the floor. I am breaking. I am, you know, in this place where excuse me. I'm in this place where, you know, who am I? You know, you guys, and I didn't know who I was without the bitterness, and I didn't know who I was without the resentment towards that individual who broke me. And I didn't want to be that person anymore. So that experience allowed me to be in a place like, this is enough. You know, this isn't, I deserve love. I deserve happiness. I deserve to forgive him. I deserve to live a life where I am completely free of the shackles and I'm completely free of the turmoil, because I was living in turmoil, you know, and I didn't have the support in some areas, and I had to be by myself as well. But I want you guys to know that you aren't by yourself and that someone is out there for you to start the healing process in that traumatic experience.
So I have another question. At what point in your life did you feel, hey, enough is enough, and I need to get back to the me who I've always dreamed of being?
Dream. So when I was in this process of healing and dreaming, as you would say, I was like, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to be free, and I'm going to take accountability for what I was doing to myself. You know what I mean? So what I was doing to myself, I was like, you're destroying yourself because you don't love yourself. You don't know yourself. I was looking for him to tell me who I was. That's not healthy. I was looking for him when he say, I apologize, which I never got. When that time came, because we all want that. When that time came, that's when I was start going to live. And that wasn't healthy. You know what I mean? So I was at a point where okay, you're in this relationship, because at this time I'm in a relationship. I was in a lot of unhealthy relationships. And at this time, I'm like, okay, you're going to stop being in a relationship that's not for you. That's one. And then you're going to start talking to yourself as to why are you worth even getting to know me? Because I didn't even know myself, because the life wasn't about me. The life was about revenge. The life was about hey, it's me. Hey, it's Bree, the one you try to destroy, the Bree that you try to, break in half and break into pieces. Whatever he tried to do, hey, it's me. I want you to see me, And I was also in a place where, okay, I had relationships where people were abusing me, mentally, or whether it was physically, or whether it was any of those things. I was allowing it because I did not know myself. So I started with, who are you, right? And then next it was, how are we going to, what's the first step, right? So the first step was journaling. The second step was praying. The third step was counseling. You know what I mean? Some of us don't want to talk to people at all about counseling, or we don't want to be in counseling, but you have to let that out. Even if it's just, you don't forgive that person just yet, you just have to start letting it out, and you have to start the process of giving yourself a chance to heal. Because if you don't make up in your mind that I am going to heal, it's not going to happen. I am going to let go of this situation. It's not going to happen. I'm going to be happy. It's not going to happen. I'm finally going to be free. It's not going to happen. It's always going to be, he did it, she did it, my mother wasn't there, my father wasn't there, family wasn't there. They still talking to him. I'm talking about me now. They still having conversations with him. You understand what I'm saying? They're still talking to him. So I had to take that, and then I had to be like, let me step outside of myself real quick. Because the Bree that was standing there, she's not willing to let it go. She want revenge, but the revenge is not a healthy revenge. Okay, I'm very successful. Yes, I'm creating a path of healing, but it's not for me. So when would I start living for me? And that life was very scary, because I'm like, I don't know how, because I didn't even know who I was. So how I'm going to live for somebody that I don't know? I'm living in her body, but I still don't know her. And also I was battling with the little girl. She like, excuse me, we didn't have a life. We're grown now. You trying to say, I can go away now? You can say I'm healed now? I mean, the little girl is still inside of me. She's still like, me and her still battle, and like, I need to heal too. We didn't have that conversation. I didn't agree to healing because I was destroyed. People don't talk about the little girl or the little boy that sits inside of them and be like, yo, we went through mad stuff and we're 25 years old now, and you want me to go away? Impossible. So now I had to talk to her, and she was like, no, I'm not ready. So, and I'm like, you have to be. And she like, no, this is fun. This revenge, just this drug of unhealthy this drug of the relationships I'm trying to these fake relationships that I was chasing, these fake friendships that I was chasing, these fake relationships that was with family members. She was drugged off of that. She was energized off of that. And I'm like, babe, this is not healthy. So we can be together, but eventually you have to go, and we have to me, Bree, now have to be like, I am ready to take this step and we are going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We are finally going to allow happiness to be the front center of our life. We are going to allow freedom to be the front center of our lives. And then we're going to push to build ourselves back up.
So what I'm hearing is that this drug, toxic energy, it was overpowering your life. It seems like you were robbed of a childhood.
Correct.
And then now in adulthood, still have to relive some of those horrible moments of your childhood.
Correct.
And trying to find a space on when you can have that childhood moment again so that you can carry on in your adult life. Is that what I'm hearing?
So, toxic meaning, that's the pill, that's the drug, toxic, and that pill it was free refills in my life at all times. Like, I had a tote full of toxic pills in my life, you know what I mean? So I'm taking a pill every day of toxic, of regret, torment, isolation, brokenness, depression, anxiety, suicide, and she was like, childhood was like, I am not finished with you. I'm going to continue to show up, and whoever you speak to and whoever you are involved with, I'm a show up. So now we talking about with the brokenness in relationships, fatherless, motherless. We talking about all those areas where I was looking for that I was broken from. You know what I mean? And then when we talk about childhood traumas, and then when you decide, okay, I am sick of you, little girl. I am sick of you, little boy. And then you battle with yourself when you keep taking those pills. You're like, why do I have to be the one to want to break this generational curse? Why do I have to be the one that this story comes out? Why me? Why do I need to be the one that see that it's an issue with my childhood trauma, and why I can't be the one that just gonna sweep it up under the rug and give it to the next generation? Why that could not be me? You know what I mean? And you guys, you have to be grateful for the mindset that you're in, that it ends with me. Because you look at your family and be like, y'all not sick of this? Y'all not sick of asking questions and, saying, when are we going to heal together? Y'all not sick of this? Y'all not sick of being in envy, of jealousy, of bitterness, of everything under the sun that is breaking this family apart? Y'all not sick of this? And my homegirl, the little girl, like, oh, I'm not sick. We good. Because we are living a life off of drama. We fighting people. She was filled with those things. And I'm just like, babe, I'm done. I don't want to feel this anymore. I don't want to be in this. I don't want to be in this quicksand no more. I don't want to drown no more. I don't want to give my life any more fuel of of chaos. Like, I'm done with this. I'm done with myself. I'm just completely done. And she decided, okay, what do I have to do? Because people don't talk about that either. People don't discuss the conversation that you have with your child like ways. You know what I mean? And you have to take your child life ways and say, babe, we have to do this. So, like I said, the drug was toxic, and I had to heal her. You know, I had to heal her and talk to her and sympathize with her, because the adult one was sick, and I had to make a decision whether or not am I going to continue to feed her, or I'm going to continue to feed myself and just be in this 50-50 life. You can't do healing 50-50. You got to be 100% in it. Some days you're going to be happy and be like, yes, we are healing, we doing good, I'm moving, I'm good. And then some days you're going to be like, oh, did I really go through that? Am I really in this room? Am I really in this place? Am I really talking to this counselor? Am I really praying to God about this bull crap? Yeah. Yes. So, to put her in rehab mentally, it was step by step, because I was being selfish, because I'm like, let's go. Let's get this journey on the road. And she like, sis, I'm just still bandaging myself up for what happened to us at 5 years old. Are you crazy? I'm still bandaging myself up when people didn't believe you. Are you crazy? I'm still bandaging myself up when you was in isolation. Are you crazy? You know, we didn't have a conversation about that. We didn't have a conversation about how you felt about that. We just having a conversation right now. Who do you think I am? And I'm like, we grown, sis. She like, I'm not. I'm 5. You know what I mean? I am little. Do you see me? And I'm like, no, I don't want to see you, but you have to see me. You understand what I'm saying? You know, she said, I've been taking these pills for years along right with you. These, like I said, this isolation pill I've been taking along with you. This depression pill I've been taking along with you. And you have the audacity to ask me to heal? You have the audacity to say we're going to move on? Sis was sick of me.
So it sounds like that you were struggling with yourself, with your inner self, with trying to come to grips with the reality that you need to heal from that.
Amen. And I'm finally saying that, you know, it's not an easy process to say we're healing from that. It's not an easy thing to take on, but it's worth it, because it's poisonous to you. It's poisonous to yourself. It's poisonous to your spirit. It's poisonous to your future. You know what I mean? So, and you have to be eager, and you have to be ready. You know, yourself is always going to battle with yourself. It's always going to be a good side, and it's always going to be a bad side. And the bad side always wants to win. Yourself is like, oh, we was having mad fun out here. But we wasn't. How are we having fun and we broke? Within ourselves. I'm not talking about money. How are we broke if you don't even know how to have a conversation? How are we broke if you don't even know how to love? How were we living the life if I am in pieces? I'm talking about millions of pieces in my hands to myself. I'm looking like crying. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at myself like, help me, somebody. But I had to look at myself and be like, you have to do it. You know what I mean? You have to look at yourself and be like, I'm ready. But I didn't want to be ready. You know what I mean? You know, some days I was with homegirl like, you know what? We can chill in revenge today. What we gonna do? Nothing? Cool. What we gonna do? We gonna try to find out where he live at? What we gonna do? We're going to try to, blame people for what we're doing in our adult life. What we're going to do? We're going to call people and say why you didn't do this and why you ain't do that, and you didn't say sorry yet and he didn't say sorry yet. What we gonna do today? And of course she was with it, but what benefit do I have when I'm sitting by myself in this room isolated and nobody is there? How is that beneficial? You know what I mean? So it was taking accountability and saying, this is it. It was taking accountability and saying, you know what? Healing is a choice. And I'd rather be in this process of healing than rather be in this process of my no. Because like I said to you guys, your no is doing nothing for you. Your no is feeding off of you. And it's like, it's going to keep pushing you to negativity. And with healing, you're getting happiness. You're getting free. You know what I mean? And I just, as I exhaled, and I just decided in my inner self when I was abusing him, why would I do that to myself? You know what I mean? And that was that.
So, to all your viewers out there, and for some of your viewers who may have been through a similar traumatic event in their life, do you have any advice that you could give them? What would be your first step to healing from that?
To my viewers, I would say your first step is recognizing that you've been through that. At some point in my life, I wasn't even remembering. It's when it came out, and that's when everything came back to me. Everything, people start asking me questions, and I had to realize, and I had to say to myself, I was molested. That's the first step. Recognizing this is what happened to me. Because if you don't recognize it, it's like you're going to continue in, what's the word I'm looking for? In disbelief. You know what I mean? You're going to continue in, that didn't happen to me. I'm going to keep putting it on the back burner. I was molested. I was hurt. That's your first step, recognition. The second step is, and this is what I did. I recognized, and the second step was talking. You know what I mean? Telling who I was talking to, for me, was therapy. I was talking to my therapist and I said, he did such and such, and he did this, and he did that. You know what I mean? And I felt, when this happened, I felt this. And when he was communicating with me, I said this back. Am I wrong? No, sweetheart, you're not wrong. Am I wrong for feeling this way? No, sweetheart, you're not wrong. You know what I mean? So you're conversing with someone. You're taking the initiative and saying, you know what, I need help. And the third thing for me was taking the steps to let go. It's going to take me some time to let it go. But what I mean by letting go, he is no longer a part of my life. This has happened to me, yes. When I say he's no longer a part of my life, he is out of my system, right? And I'm finally saying, I am Bree. I'm moving now. I am Bree. I have a name. I have a purpose. And I'm going to live in it. I'm going to do my left right. And I'm going to say, this is it. You cannot live for him anymore. You cannot give him any energy anymore. And step 4 for me was forgiveness, you know. And I had to say, I forgive you. Not to him literally, but I forgive you, and this area in my life literally has to be buried with you, with this situation, with these emotions. I am done with feeling like I am worthless. I am done with feeling like I cannot live my life without looking to my right to see if you're watching me. I am no longer doing that. And last thing was, okay, I did step 1 through 4. Do I have a life now? Because I was feeling off of that anger. You know, how am I operating in happiness? How am I operating in freedom? You know what I mean? How am I operating in this place where I am no longer, again, looking to my left and be like, hey, you see me? What's up? Yeah, I'm doing good over here. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you ain't break anything. I'm living for myself. So that's the final step. That's for me now. I am recognizing that you can live for yourself. You don't have to feel off angerness. You can live to be free. You can live to be in this place of, I know who I am. We're gonna be okay. And the we is me and the little girl. And eventually she's gonna be okay. And I decided that it will be a long journey, but it's going to be a worth it journey, because bitterness can no longer be in my life. And thank you for tuning in into my podcast. I hope this helps someone. It was a very deep conversation. Like I said, if you would like to talk to me, my link is in my bio, where we're healing from that on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I'll see you soon.